Okay, let that right hand travel to your back or the mobile wherever it is on silence. Because I am very, very fascinated with music. The moment there will be a music, do much I'll forget what I am teaching, I'll just dance. So be careful. Right? If you need to pick up a call, please step out, take your call. You need to listen to the nature's call. Please excuse yourself. How's the idea? Nice? Nice. So you are free to ask any sorts of questions. You don't have to worry कि मैं ये पूछूंगी तो ये क्या सोचेंगे, because this session is meant for you. It is to help you, not to preach, not to trouble you, not to add confusion in your head. Are we good? Yes. Very clear? Ma'am, will you mind shifting? I am not able to see it. I love you. Thank you so much. So we will have some basic rules. If you want to say something, what do you do? Thank you so much. What do you do, everybody? Raise your hand. And ask her, because lunch ke baad if you will not talk, you know what will happen by 4 o'clock? Karate. You will be like, but अंदर कुछ जा नहीं रहा है ना? So let's make a most of it, where your management has invested for you. So be a baby, be a student, not a teacher, but definitely your concerns as teacher, as in charges, please lay me up. If there is a word that you don't understand, what do you do? Please. If there is something that you feel ये नहीं हो सकता, मैम आप बोल रहे हो ये कैसे होगा? बड़ी बड़ी बातें, stop me. We'll work at it. Maybe peers can help, maybe Dimple ma'am and Radhika ma'am can help. Then how do we put it in the classroom? The idea of the session is not to preach, to make it easy for you. Interested?
Yes.
Very interested?
Yes.
Pakka?
Yes.
So, it's so unfair that I stand and you sit. Right? Let's stand up. I will not make you bend down and jump like खाने का display होगा, but at least some activity, right? So, how do you begin your day in the school? Warm up exercise. We can't do a big khana khana. No warm up. Anyway, it is warm. What else can we do? Thank you so much. What else can we do in the morning? Introduction. Again, I am not going to do it because I don't have time. I wish I could have. Dance. But at least some activity, right? So how do you begin your day in the school? Warm up exercise. We can't do a big khana khana. No warm up. Anyway, it is warm. What else can we do? Thank you so much. What else can we do in the morning? Come to school? Thank you. Some people are listening. They are kicked out of the house. Okay? When you were in school, how many of you went to school? I can't see hands. Who went to school? Put your hand up. So when you went to school, did you just, आज मेरी teacher Pythagoras सिखाएगी? I have to go. Did you say that?
No.
Did you say आज ना Dimple ma'am मेरे को English सिखाने वाले मेरे को जाना पड़ता? Did you say that?
No.
You went because मेरी दोस्त मेरे लिए nail polish लाने वाली है. She is going to bring kurkure in her dabba. She is going to tell yesterday in the party what happened. Today if I go home, my friend will become somebody else's friend. Am I right or wrong?
Yes.
Children are not having a comfortable zone in the school to begin with. Agree?
Yes.
Everybody agrees?
Yes.
Can you agree also? दो हाथ ऊपर हैं. If you don't agree, ऐसे रखना तो मैं आगे पूछूंगी why you are not agree. Is that fine?
Yes.
Fantastic. So you know what happens? Why they are not happy? What do you think?
They don't want to leave
Okay,
their
hands
parents.
up.
They don't want to leave their parents.
Why?
That's so comfortable at
They
home.
are comfortable. Very good. Anybody else? Yes, please. Separation anxiety. Mama. Very good. Anybody? Freedom gets hampered. Bad. Good.
We'll ask them to be disciplined.
We will ask them to sit down. ये क्या है? ये क्या है? ये क्या है? Anything else? Yes.
To write a lot of things.
Write a lot of things. Yeah, they cannot continue the activity they want to continue. For example, they like play. You give play at school. There is free play corner. There are materials to play with. But then you say, "Chalo, abhi English." है ना? Is it good for them or not good for them? But क्या होता है ना, घर पे बोला जाता है that if you will not do homework, if you will not eat food, I will tell the teacher. If you will not sleep on time, I will tell the teacher. I am trying hard to become an angel. And घर पे मम्मी क्या बोल रही है? Can I tell बेटा तेरी मम्मी झूठ बोल रही है? No, I can't tell. But you know what I can do? I can sing. Am I right? So what do I sing to them? That unknowingly they understand the reality. So how many of your moms here? Oh, quite a lot. I'm not going to do anything to those who are not moms. Don't worry at all. All the moms in the house. How many are? What is the biggest problem in the morning with your babies?
Waking them.
So what are they doing before that?
Sleeping.
हिंदी में बोलो.
So
I'll do it once. You do it once. मैं तो सो रही थी. जब तक सब लोग नहीं करेंगे सो ही रही थी. मैं तो सो रही थी. One more time. मुझे बिल्ली ने जगाया. जब तक सब लोग नहीं करेंगे बिल्ली है रही. मुझे बिल्ली ने जगाया. बोली और क्या बोलेगी? वही बोलेगी. 1 2 let's go. बोली बोली I can't hear 60 of you. I'm going to say it once. Let me hear you. Who's better? मैं तो सो रही थी. मुझे कुत्ते ने जगाया. Everybody. बोला भाव भाव. Very good. बोला भाव भाव. मैं तो सो रही थी. मुझे चिड़िया ने जगाया. Everybody. मुझे सब नहीं करेंगे तो चिड़िया उड़ेगी ही नहीं. मुझे बोली ची ची ची. बोली मैं तो सो रही थी. मुझे कौवे ने जगाया. बोला दुनिया का कौन सा काऊ? बोला गंदा आवाज गंदा मुंह. एवरीबॉडी. बोला if you make your face dirty, voice will be harsh. Come on. बोला दुनिया की हर एक मम्मी गीता कुरान बाइबल में हाथ रख के बोलो कैसे जगाते हैं. बोली उठ. बोली मैं तो मुझे पापा ने बुलाया. ये जनरेशन का पप्पा. बेटा आ बेटा मैं तो हंस रही थी. मुझे टीचर ने हंसाया. बोली वेरी गुड. Why would you teach a song like that? Make the child children without even teaching them. You told them teacher loves you the most. मम्मी क्या करती है? बोला नहीं लेकिन बता दिया. Now this is the magic of early childhood. In early childhood education, as an educator, my job, earlier days was very different. Now it is very different. Earlier days when we were babies, I am pretty ancient, but you guys are young girls. So when you were babies, you go to school to learn A to Z. Now admission, she's taking admission, the parent will come, A to Z 1 to 20 आता है. So now when you teach A for apple, child will say I know it. और बोलो. When it came to our times, I remember we lived with cousin. There was only one ball or one doll. That too. Some time. And when that one ball became a tug of war, everybody got it. So we learned how to share. Now we have to read a book. Pega Pig learns to share. Chalo padho mere saath. That's how we do it. So as an early childhood educator, with academics, I am teaching something else, which is out of syllabus. Most of the teachers here who have worked in the industry, parents come most of the time and have one major, make sure they are eating food. Yes. When I signed up, I took a job because I love children. How many of you agree with me? Because we love children. No, you don't love children? Yes. हाथ आराम कर रहा है थोड़ा? Resting? No rest today. Till 4:35 no rest. Sorry. You ate. I made sure you eat well. I didn't disturb you. अभी आप मेरे हो. Okay? How many of you love children? You became teacher because you love children. Am I right? Yes. And then what happened? 20 बच्चे मेरा कुत्ता जा रहा है, मेरा सब कुछ लिख रहा है, बेटा रुक. And scene changed. You took up a job because you love teaching. How many of you love teaching? And then you realize that you can't teach because they are not ready. Do you agree with me? Yes. They don't come to school because they want to learn. They come to school for every other reason than learning. So did we? Yes. We are equally guilty of the same crime. Yes. So let's not judge my babies. Let's understand them instead and make life simpler for them. Especially during pandemic, it was pathetic for them. Do you agree? Yes. The only word that they kept hearing is no. That's the only thing they have heard. So they are coming from that mindset. Do we agree on that? Yes. How many of you think that as a mother I gave the best to my child?
During pandemic?
No. In general in life. Starting from the womb. Did we give the best of our capacity?
Yes.
ऐसे सोचो मत, हाँ ऊपर करो if you believe. No, you don't think you have been. खाना ही देते. We do from our capacity. If your capacity is X, you are doing X plus 1. Am I right?
Yes.
Personally, I'm not talking about school children right now. I'm talking about your own babies at home. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
And most of the time we have this pride कि मैंने तुझे 9 महीने. Am I right? Just imagine if I have locked you, okay, in a place which is dark. You are breathing in a sticky fluid. You don't have a place to move. Will you like it? Don't be really proud of it. The child was in that sticky place in the darkness and struggled to come out. But after he came out or she came out, they changed your life. I think most of us changed our profession after our children were born and took up this because we felt connected. Do you agree?
Yes.
How many times we are being told that as early childhood educators, we are like mothers. beware. You are not the mother. Please be careful. Mother has certain advantages. For example, how many of you are teachers as freshers, first year as teacher? Okay, apart from you, all of you, you have been handling 20, 30 children every year, right? So, Florets have wonderful rules, and we have a code of conduct that we will never even think about. Am I right?
Yes.
So what happens when children misbehave? Children are at their, tantrums. They are hyperactive. They are doing all sorts of things. It's okay. It's
Yes.
okay. You breathe, right? And then you go home. Am I right? And आपके बेटे ने यहाँ पे शू रखे हैं, आपके हस्बैंड ने वहाँ पे टाई रखी है, हाँ? And then you become, and everybody starts wondering ये आई क्यों घर पे? And then you develop a guilt. So रात को जो बच्चा रोता है, then you go सोता हुआ बच्चा को मम्मी ने ऐसा किया. And trust me, the bacha understands that. Not that bacha is awake. So next day morning when you're packing his dabba, he'll say, Mummy, aaj pasta hai. And as a mother, yesterday I was so big. So today, you develop a guilt. You develop a guilt that I misbehaved, I developed a stress. Then you have a guilt that I gave pasta instead of roti sabji. ये तो manipulate कर रहा है. Are you understanding this vicious cycle? As an early childhood educator, the first thing I want you to understand is who you are, how I expect you to be, and what children are. They are in an uncomfortable zone, and so are you. Do you agree?
Yes.
Whether you have experience, whether you are fresh. Every year when a fresh batch begins, I want you to be a little nervous. I'll be nervous if you're not nervous. Are you understanding my point here?
Yes.
There has to be a lot of preparation, a lot of thoughts going before you face my 25 babies. Your lesson plan is ready, your worksheet is ready, your teaching aid is ready. But you know what? In their brains, they have 25 other lesson plans going on. Now you have to bring them to you. Do you agree?
Yes.
So today's whole idea of the session is about that. Can I have this slide? The topic, anybody has been told, you have been told the topic?
Yes.
Any idea?
Discipline.
वो था? मैं जानती हूँ
Morning thing.
No, I can teach that. Shall we do that? Don't worry, I'm just kidding with you, okay? So the topic today is creative, conducive environment for students post-pandemic. So, भारी भरकम subject है. Let's decode it and make it very easy for us. Let's understand what is the agenda of the day. What I want you to understand is what are these terms. I come from a medical background, so I always believe अगर we know the good terminology, then we are a winner. ऐसे थोड़ा-थोड़ा दे देगा सबको. For example, PTM is coming. You are telling बच्चा सुनता नहीं है सर. The parent immediately will say मेरा भी नहीं सुनता है. Instead of that, if you say his auditory skills we are working on, his visual skills are very good, and we are working on his tactile as well. Parent will go क्या तो भी बोले मैडम. People मैडम इनके क्लास में रखने मेरे बच्चे. Terminology very very important. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So I will be teaching you little theory. Pardon me for that, but I think it is essential for us to look very smart. Agree?
Yes.
And practice them, huh? The more you practice and एक दूसरे में मारना ऐसे, वो terminology, so that it becomes your language, and you speak that language confidently. Do we agree?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll learn terminology. What are our concerns post-pandemic? Let's talk about that. Okay. What do we want from the children as an outcome? What do we wish that we should receive, we should achieve? What is our plan of action? How can we implement and apply that? And will we get expected outcome on it? Game? Shall we begin the journey now?
Yes.
Fantastic. So important, what is creative? What is the meaning of word called creative? Creative.
Right.
Super. Can you say it aloud?
Ideas of our mind.
Ideas of our mind. Can I have a chocolate for ma'am? Ideas of our mind. Very good. Yes, ma'am. Out of box thinking. Very good. Perfect. Now, this idea can be that aaj jaake fridge todunga. Is that creative? No. So we have to attach something. Right? Creativity is creating something new, constructive. Creating something new which is constructive. Do we agree now? Everybody agree? Yes. Creativity doesn't only mean art and craft. Creativity also means thinking on your feet. Are you agreeing with me? Yes. Problem solving is also creativity. Rather, people who are creative are supposed to be highly intellectual. Do you agree with me? Yes. Right? Conducive. Any idea what's the meaning of the word called conducive? So this is another thing that I want you to teach yourself or ask yourself when you come across a title or a word, and if you don't know, Google it up. Google auntie badi achhi hai. Half word you will type, it will give 10 options. That's why I call it auntie. Ek pucho 10 batayegi. Conducive. Any idea? I say. Any answer is a good answer. Okay, fantastic. Well tried. Your conduct, very nice, good idea. Equal to, making everything included in it, including everything, adding everything, making it happen, making it actually happen, applying it. Okay, conducive. Environment. Oh my God, what a big word. The pathetic spelling. Environment. Why it is not environment? Surrounding, very good. So what is the surrounding that child has in a school? Walls. Yes. Friends, very good. Yes, ma'am. Playground, very good. At home they don't get anything to play. Yes, ma'am. Books, very good. The classroom itself. What does classroom have? Decorating with lights and fairy lights and all. No. Charts, letters, puzzles. TLM. TLM is teaching learning material. Activity-based learning. They have all these things, and that builds an environment. And that environment is half the battle won. When the environment is so enriching, the child falls into that, hardship. Sab pad rahe, main bhi padunga. Everybody is doing, I'll also do it. Are you getting me very clearly now? Yes. Students. What is the meaning of word called student?
Those who want to study.
Those who are?
Those who want to learn.
Those who want to learn. So are you student?
Yes.
Sure?
Yes.
No?
Yes.
Oh. Anybody who is not student today? Because I am learning a lot from you also. I am also a student. Student is a person who is hungry to evolve. Who is hungry to evolve. The moment learning happens, your behavior changes. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Now next time when you meet a mother in front of you who will say, "Dekh barabar pad nahi to teacher." So what song will come in your mind?
Punishment.
You have evolved. This is learning. This is student in you. That what I learn, can I apply it somewhere? Will it work for me? That is student. Are we clear?
Yes.
Children in the class definitely love learning. Provided
Teaching methodology which we are going to say.
you get it very clearly. Suppose Radhika ma'am had invited Sanjeev Kapoor here. What is Sanjeev Kapoor? Chef. So he is going to make chicken biryani today, and he's asking you to chop vegetable. He's asking you, teaching everything itte closely. In the end, he's feeding you also. Now you're going home. After food, I can talk. Otherwise, you all will be like. So now you're going home. What is your plan of action?
Biryani.
You're picking up the raw material, groceries for it. But that's homework, no? Isn't it wrong? Why you want to do it?
We learn.
Hands up. Why you want to do it? You want to try what you learned.
We have learned that.
Implement what we learn. सही आंसर कोई नहीं दिया. Okay. One. Memorizing. Sharing experience. Practice. उठो आप उठो मैं उठो. पकड़ो ये. पकड़ो. शो ऑफ करना है मेरे को आ गया. सही बोलो. सच्ची में. That is exactly what my child also wants to do. Teach him in a manner that he goes home and says, "मालूम मेरे टीचर ने क्या सिखाया? Tingle लेके डाल दो." And people at home will go, "Gaga, trust me about it." मेरा बच्चा इंग्लिश में बोला. And they are sorted. You are upstar as a teacher. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Your method, your approach towards teaching has to be interesting. Your knowledge has to be good. Your pronunciation has to be good. Your lesson plan, teaching aid, worksheet has to be good. But you know what? Your attitude has to be of a giver. And that passion, that मैं तुझे ये नहीं सिखाऊंगी तो मैं मर जाऊंगी. You know, when I was teaching in PP, what we call senior KG? Senior KG, I remember. Senior KG, I was teaching. So there was a girl in my class. The mother called up. Ma'am, Komal is having fever. I said, okay ma'am, don't send her. No, that's not the problem ma'am. She wants to come. I said, okay, give me the phone. I said, Komal, baby, you're feeling very hot. No, you're not well. When you're feeling better, come. But if I don't come, what will you do, ma'am? I think that's the biggest compliment of my life. That I made my student feel that I exist in this world only for her. Isn't that the most beautiful thing? I think that is a feeling every student has. That when I touched her, you thought, मैं आगे क्यों नहीं बैठी थी? Now that's the feeling my students should have. And that's the bond I want to create in the classroom. If I have that bond, teaching will become easy.
Yes.
Agree now?
Yes.
Otherwise, 25 lesson plans. My lesson plan किधर उनका किधर? I will have to get them with me, and that is exactly what is the meaning of student. And I want you to understand that. If you ever visit IIPTA, where that's the academy ma'am spoke about, Dimple ma'am, on the walls of IIPTA, I have written down, teachers who love teaching, can we repeat? Teachers who love teaching, teach children to love learning. That's our job. Don't teach them subject, don't not teach them. But make it interesting for them that they say, "Ma'am, math बहुत मजा आया, ma'am, वापस ma'am." That's your victory. When you were in school, your favorite teacher you associated with my favorite subject. How many of you didn't like math in the school? You found it pathetic. ये क्यों पढ़ रहा है मैं? सच्ची वाला बोला ऐसे छुप के ये तो होता ही नहीं है. Either this or no. Math was difficult. But now when you are teaching your children how easy it is, and you are wondering ये मैं इसमें, you know who was the culprit?
Teacher.
That teacher was giving -5. That teacher was standing like that and throwing chalks at you. That teacher had a, I'm a math teacher. Remember? They behave as if they are from Mars. And that is where the problem happened. That we started, and every time you went with your report card, your chacha, mama, your dad, math mein kitne aaye? Math mein kitne aaye? So that math became if you think about it, math is the most logical thing. Just think. If you know the formula, you have a problem, apply that formula on the problem, step, you come to the answer. But if I tell you to write the essay, is there a method like that? Is there a formula like that? It's your vocabulary, it's your content, it's your sentence formation, it is your how many quotes you know, what creatively you can think. So which should have been difficult subject? It depended on the teacher. I want you to be the teacher who makes sure that children love learning. By end of the day, I will teach you some tricks that you will be able to make the subjects interesting. Interested in learning?
Yes.
That is a good one. Post pandemic, मतलब पेन पकड़ने से पहले, right?
After the pandemic.
What is pandemic?
And now we had coronavirus.
कोरोना वायरस के बाद, कोरोना वायरस मर गया उसके बाद नहीं मरा ना, अभी भी कहीं कहीं से जिंदा आ रहा है, resurrections. Pandemic.
Like some hit to the whole world.
Absolutely right. Unexpected scenario where everybody fell sick because of the medical reason, because of the climate reason, tsunami, some kind of a thing that we couldn't curtail. And our children took the worst toll. That they were tied down in the house, in the four walls. I remember that recently we did one research and we got to know that children are having speech issues because they saw their parents in masks. So they could not understand how the speech happened. Can you imagine that? You never thought of it, no? When I was actually depressed about the whole thing. They can't interact much now because they are used to interacting with the system who doesn't answer back. So when you ask a question, there's a problem with the child. They are delayed in interactions, delayed in answers, and you have to be mentally prepared. Post-pandemic, it's like before corona, after corona, BCAC. It's like that. That children and nursery LKG children have never heard a word called school year. Radhika ma'am was sharing, I'm sure she has shared with you that one of the child came to the school and said, "Can I touch you, ma'am?" I didn't know that you were real. I thought like Tom and Jerry and Pokemon you were also. Because I saw you only in the, am I right, ma'am? One of the teacher came and told her that. I mean, how painful is that? We spoke about 4.0 revolution, artificial intelligence, but you know what? A human touch. Very, very important. Do we agree on this?
Yes.
Very, very well. What is that word? Alteration. Confidently बोलो एकदम. Alteration. दर्जी के पास जाते हैं ना? थोड़ा कम दो यार, बड़ी हो गई मैं. थोड़ा कम कर दो यार, छोटी हो गई मैं. That is alteration. Why am I using here? Yes, ma'am.
Because now we have to change the whole thing, how we teach, how we deal with the students and all.
Okay, ma'am. Perfect. Anybody else? Super. What happened was, before marriage I was 42 kg, then I got married and became very happy, and now I'm only 89, 90, 100 kg, so alteration करने पड़ते. Right? Similarly, during pandemic, children's lifestyle changed, routine changed, their physical, social, emotional processes changed. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
And we will have to figure that out. Where is a gap? Measurement करना पड़ेगा और वो हिसाब से alteration करना पड़ेगा. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So we will understand how we will do it for each class. Tots, nursery, junior KG and the next word.
Extension.
Meaning? बढ़ा दो. मेरे बाल इतने ही हैं लेकिन मेरे को उधर तक चाहिए. Extension. मेरी eyebrows इतनी है मेरे को और चाहिए.
Extension.
Anywhere else you have got extension?
Extension cord.
Extension cord. Very good. We need that.
Showrooms.
Showroom extension. Family.
Families.
My children need you. No leave now. Forget about it. They want you present in the class. बुखार तो ऐसे आना. And trust me, they will understand.
Yes.
Have you the mothers sitting here and even the non-mothers? Let me tell you, 6-month-old. How old? 6 months. If baby is taking a breastfeed and the mother is crying, anybody knows the reaction of the baby? They stop They stop taking a feed and look at the mother's face. And this is reality I'm talking about, no stories. Do not underestimate the power of a common child. They are awesome. They understand. If there are teachers and inside the teacher there is an issue. My daughter went to school at 3:30, and after coming home, which game starts? Teacher. So me, my husband, my 2 dogs, and my mother-in-law were the students. And then she starts. Today we will learn, hello, Simran, my sister-in-law is coming. And my mother-in-law is looking at me. I said, many mommy, Simran. That's the power you have. As you hear their stories, my papa calls my mommy darling. You hear those stories? My papa's name is stupid because mommy calls him like that. You will hear that story. Similarly, your stories also will go home. When she was in class 2, she came one day and said, Mama, do we have extra maid? I said, why do you do? No, Mama, my teacher every day is yelling and saying, एक तो मेड नहीं है, मेरे को करना पड़ता है. If we will give, she might be nice, no, Mama. Be careful. They are caring exactly. My little nephew went to school in 96. I'm pretty ancient, okay? Don't judge me. He went to school for the first time. And he came back from school, and I was unmarried then. So, nephew, you know what I'm saying? Bhai ka beta is like. So he came home and I said, beta, aaj school mein kya kiya hai? Typical that gate hanging wala. And the child said, we learned Twinkle Twinkle. How many of you know Twinkle Twinkle? ऐसे नहीं बोलो सबको आता है. I want to see hands. Who knows Twinkle Twinkle Little Stars? इतना क्या काम करना है? Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, go. And you know what happened? I understood. Man, he's very good, but we'll go home. Be careful. Me and my husband both come from medical background, and my daughter is teaching us G for giraffe. And he said, Beta, G for giraffe. You don't know anything. My teacher. Now that's the power you have. Every word that you speak is going to go home. Every pronunciation that you make is going to go home. Every behavior, gesture you do is going to go home. There is a lot of burden on you. At the same time, the good news is, my teacher is the best. Within 2-3 months, there will be hugging and you are the best. And the letter, especially senior KG teachers, congratulations. Even LKG teachers, the mothers will come and say, आके बोलता है आपके जैसे कपड़े पहनना. The reason, not because we are Aishwarya Rais, the reason is because we smile looking at them. We are genuinely happy to have them in our class. Whereas at home, आ गया? If the mother is in the kitchen and the child goes there, मम्मी चैनल प्ले, पढ़ाई की, वो जगह पे रखी, शूज किधर है, बैग भरी, पानी कितना पिया, सूज जा क्या? Am I right? Whereas as a teacher, yes darling, who is a hero, especially early childhood. Primary, okay. Secondary, pathetic. God bless those teachers. The moment they turn the back, I don't know what happens. They're all nicknames. We all did that. Guilty as charged. Am I right? Yes. Some teacher के nicknames दिए थे हम. But we are the luckiest bunch. Our rewards are like, every single day. They come and say, ma'am, you're so nice, ma'am. And they genuinely say it. Believe them. Are we good with that? Yes. Extension. We will have to do extension of the whole thing, right? Do you want me to expectation. Let's look at our expectation from the child. It's something like this. Aayenge, 20 angels khelenge. They will have so much fun. I love children. And then the reality happens. They will come and they will have tantrums, puking on your dress, nose running. Am I right? Yes. This is reality. What is a medicine for this? Radhika ma'am has given you that syrup name? She didn't give you? I'll give it to you. Who wants it? Oh. Everybody ready? I'm teaching you what to do. And this is a big fat lie. I'm teaching you how to lie. Okay? Everybody. किसकी याद आ रही है? मेरे family pack के साथ? Okay, that was the idea. Everybody, till हाथ नहीं आएंगे मैं नहीं आगे बढ़ूंगी. I love you all. I love you all. You don't have to say it aloud, but mean it. Why am I calling it a lie? Because day one, generally you don't love everybody. So fake it till you make it. And you better make it. I want you to fall in love with every child of your class. Despite how they look, how they talk, how they behave, how their parents behave. Even forget about that. Don't judge them through that. Just love them unconditionally. Why am I saying it? Because when we love somebody, we accept them with all their shortcomings. And we work on their strength to make them better. Do you agree?
Yes.
And that is exactly what is our role as early childhood. माँ बाप तो खाना खिलाते वक्त ants on the apple सिखा देते हैं. Luckily that is not our burden anymore. We are teaching. But along with that, there are rest of things that we will have to teach. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Very, very clear what I am saying? So this reality, if you want to change into that reality, this is the best medicine. I'll talk about it again a little later. How do we deal with that? What are our concerns? So let's understand what are our concerns. Anybody? What are you scared or not scared, concerned about that? How will I do this? In the break somebody was saying, yes ma'am.
Kids are having behavioral issues, ma'am.
Right. True. Very good. Anybody else? Gadget addiction. Very good.
There is no eye-to-eye contact.
No eye-to-eye contact.
Not responding.
Not responding. Very true. Very true.
Washroom concerns.
Washroom concerns. Tell me about it. Anybody else? Janu? No attention span, no body control, no movement control. Very true. Speech delayed. They don't want to talk. They want to talk to the machine more than us. Anybody else? The mother tongue influence. The language we speak is Greek and Latin for them. They don't understand it. Anything else?
Crying a lot. Some kids cry a lot.
Already at home they are ready made and come here. So when we are teaching them, say, "ये तो आता है." No, A for apple they know. So now this apple, can we make apple? No, it is apple only. But can we make that apple very interesting by showing 3 different colors and letting them touch and smell and eat? So that is where we go extension. Are we good with that much? To begin with, okay? As we proceed, we'll learn more. So these are our concerns. Let's read out. Can I have a volunteer who will read these points? Anyone volunteer? मतलब पढ़ना आता है? So ma'am, you read. Thank you so much. Please read.
First concern is the structure of the school day.
What does that mean? Like सुबह सबसे पहले मैं तो सो रही थी के लोचे, हाँ? Then टमी मूवमेंट के लोचे, भेजते भेजते दूध का ग्लास भेजा है. So बस में and आते हैं गुड़. How uncomfortable that is for child. Forget about us adults. So to set that structure of the day.
Second one, following directions.
What does that mean? Right way, left way, forward. Is that the direction? Bang on. Everybody stand up. your victory as a teacher. If what you think is what you're feeling and what you're projecting, you're the winner teacher, you're the champion teacher. If you feel, I'm so sorry, and then you pretend that you're teaching and having fun, child understands it. They understand it very well. Why? Because don't underestimate. Well, continue, ma'am.
Yeah. Sitting in their seat for long hours.
Sitting in their seats for long hours, as you said, sitting issues. You know, they are rickety. 3 idli subah khaya hai, 2 dosa subah khaya hai. They have had a glass full of milk, 2 breads, bowl of cornflakes with sugar, and now they are sitting like this. And what do you do as a teacher? Wait. So now rest of the class my attention is not on what you are teaching, but controlling my movements, and I mean it. I'm not joking. It is a big issue. So first in the morning, make sure they get tired. I'll teach you how to make them tired. थोड़ा खाने को थोड़ा हजम होने के बाद में. Continue, ma'am.
Next one, working independently.
Working in the biggest issue. You know, I was working in a school and they asked me 3rd standard के बच्चों को dance सिखाओ. I love dancing, I mentioned it, right? I'm a trained Bharatanatyam dancer and I'm Gujarati. So every Gujarati is supposed to know Garba. So it was every state representation. So 3rd standard के बच्चों को I had to teach Garba. There was one girl who didn't participate, but every time when we were practicing, her feet would go. So I kept telling her, darling, why don't you join? Darling, why don't? She wouldn't. After 3-4 days, I understood that, you know, you understand the body language that she wants to do it. So I went to her and I said, why do you don't want to do it, Babu? I held her close and asked. She said, ma'am, I can't do, ma'am. So I said, what is stopping you? Talk to me. She said, ma'am, IIPTAs don't help now. I don't know how to tie my shoes. And that is what we have made our children. Handicap. I'm so sorry to use the harsh word. Khana kha. Jaldi kha. I have other work to do. Kapde pehen. Jaldi pehen. She's waiting sitting here. Jaldi pehen. Shoe jaldi pehen. We do it away for them. In name of independence, we have made them handicap. I'm not even saying dependent. I'm using a worse word and I want you to imagine it like that. If you're doing that with your child, stop today. I'm so sorry I'm bringing such a harsh vision to you that imagine your children don't have hands and legs. Is that what you want? Let them make a mess of food. It's okay. Chaddi pehen ke bithao unko. If you don't want to wash clothes, newspaper dal do niche. But let them eat. You know, I've seen that mothers feeding 3 साल के बच्चे को semi-solid. Take Pokemon. Take that. Have you seen that semi-solid? Anybody who likes, what is your favorite food, ma'am? Chicken what? In any form? Biryani. I will feed you chicken biryani. How many bites will you like from me? Seriously? Wouldn't you want to eat with your own hand to feel satisfied? Are you getting my point? Yes. You want to eat with your hands to feel comfortable. Do you agree?
Yes.
Let child understand that. And that is what is missing today. That is exactly what is wrong. Child doesn't understand what is thirst and what is hunger. He is given before he wants it. हम तड़पते थे. Toys के लिए कैसे तड़पते थे? How many of you had a father who said, first rank लाएगा तो साइकिल मिलेगी? Are you agree?
Yes, yes.
अभी आपके बच्चों के पास कितनी कार और कितने डॉल्स हैं? They don't value it. But we gave because मेरे माँ बाप ने नहीं दिया था मैं तुझे दूँगा. That vicarious feeling we had, and we made them like this. We made them handicapped. Continue, ma'am.
Being quiet.
Very difficult. I want action every minute. I cannot be sitting idle. I'm a child. I have a lot of energy. Do you agree?
Yes.
The amount of food they have, the amount of energy they spend, there is no connection. Do you agree?
Yes, yes.
And that's normal. That is normal. That is not hyper. We all were like that. It is normal. We expect them कि तुम बैठो 5 घंटे. It is not anatomically normal to sit for 5 घंटे. I'm so sorry. You have have to make sure that they get up, they do something, they drink water, they eat, they relieve their nature call. All that has to happen regularly. They are not expected to be quiet. पहले 2 साल when they don't talk, what do you say? बात कब करेगा, बात कब करेगा, बात कब? 1 year they don't walk, what do you say? मेरा बच्चा कब चलेगा पहला? First step, how many of you have recorded? पहला step. And 3 साल के बच्चे एक जगह पे बैठ, whole day. What are your expectations? What do you actually want from the child, hey? Are you understanding? It's unfair. Continue.
Sharing space with other students.
Very good. It's a prince and princess syndrome now. When you were young, whose favorite food was cooked at home? Fathers. You are Gen Z then. Father's food?
Yes.
Favorite? Now whose food gets cooked?
Children's.
The whole theme has changed. How many of you recognize this tune? La 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 la
Hymn.
la 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 la.
Washing
Sing. Last को practice किया? Yesterday you practiced?
No.
Now this is the memory in early childhood. Can you believe? You remember every lyrics? You practiced yesterday? Day before? Last month? That is the power of early childhood education. That tune. And in that Jaya, Sushma, Rekha, everything was sold like that. My nephew, when my brother bought a first car, he came down and said, "There is that auntie." She comes with the car. My Bhabhi is looking at him. But everything was sold with that. Now check the end now. Hora ko daag अच्छे हैं. Who's used? Child. Who's the model? Are you understanding the difference I am speaking about? The entire environment is child oriented. And that is why getting along with others is a big issue. We didn't have a problem. We were told, ऐसे ही है तू. We were brought up very casually. If your brother's birthday is there, were you given a gift?
No.
Now, if a newborn is there and there is a sibling, दोनों के लिए gift दी जाती है. कैसा लगेगा? क्या कैसा लगेगा? लगने दो.
दोनों को कपड़े खरीदे.
Are you understanding what I am trying to say? The whole scenario has changed. It's very difficult to get now. Continue, ma'am.
Next is aggression.
What is the meaning of aggression? You're going to see that, my love. I'm so sorry to break the bad news to you, but you're going to see this in the children. They have been facing the screen. Their brain is highly stimulated. Highly stimulated. And now for them, everything is now. It's called instant gratification.
Instant gratification.
It's now. Right now, I need it. Now. And if you don't do it, there is aggression. There is a tantrum, there is a bullying, there is all that. Are you agreeing? Are these all concerns? You are comfortable standing, ma'am? I understand. Continue.
The next one is trouble working together.
We covered that.
Waiting that
In play, in conversation, they can't wait. I just met one of my friends, 9-year-old child. Friend of mine is talking and this guy is, "Mummy, but listen, Mummy." Have you noticed this?
Yes.
Instant. Abhi, meko abhi hona. Right? Continue.
low attention span.
We agree on that? Continue.
Instant gratification. Extreme pent-up energy.
Pent up energy नहीं है क्या? Pent up. Spelling गलत है ना? नहीं? बराबर. Pent up energy. Absolutely. You know, how many of you had, say around 9-month, 1-year-old baby, and for some reason you had to go out of the house, living with mother or mother-in-law? You will actually talk to the baby and say, "I'm going out for 2-3 hours. You know what? Mama will come back. Don't cry. Don't trouble Nainamma. Don't trouble Amama." You faced it?
Yes.
You go out and when you come back, no? There's a huge tantrum. The moment you enter, the child throws a tantrum on some pretext, and the mother-in-law or the mother says, "Abhi tak ekdam acha tha." Heard that?
Yes.
Child obeyed you actually. What did you tell the child? Are you understanding? Children are very receptive. Give them a correct instruction. Are we agreeing with that now? Continue, ma'am.
Delayed speech or interaction related
We
issues.
spoke about it.
Motor skills and sensory processing.
So we give them motor to drive. Is that what I'm talking? Fine motor and gross motor skills. What is fine motor? Patla hona. Finger muscles. Very good. And gross,
Leg and eyes.
every joint. Okay, are we good with that?
Yes.
Okay, so let's do one exercise. Now food is nearly an hour, so we can handle a little more. Ma'am, you can. Thank you so much. Clap for her. Thank you so much, darling. So I'm going to go here so that you can see me. One rule in my class is no inhibitions. Okay, I'll be having so many tires. If I can do, you can do. Being so beautiful easily. Are we good with that?
Yes.
Right? So I'm going to do it once, you will do it once with me. Are we ready?
Yes.
I'm standing, what are you saying? Thank you. Comfortable? आजू बाजू में कोई लग रहा है तो जगह ले लो. Come out a little bit. Yeah. Comfortable? Everybody can see me? Thank you so much. Atutita, atutita, atutita ta. 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 Thumbs up, thumbs up. Atutita, atutita, atutita ta. Atutita, atutita, atutita ta. Thumbs up. Elbows out. Elbows out. Atutita, atutita, atutita ta. Very good. Atutita, atutita, atutita ta. Thumbs up.
Elbows out.
Knees out.
Knees out.
Atutita, atutita, atutita ta. Everybody. Atutita, atutita, atutita ta. Thumbs up.
Elbows out.
Knees out. Bums out. Bums out. Atutita, atutita, atutita ta. Atutita, atutita, atutita ta. Thumbs up. Elbows up. Knees bent. The bums up. Turn around. Atutita, atutita, atutita ta. Atutita, atutita, atutita ta. Thumbs up.
Elbows out. Knees out.
Before turn around. Tongue out. Atutita, atutita, atutita ta. Atutita, atutita, atutita. Why did you stop? Please be seated. I want you to see each other's face. You all are laughing. After how many days did you do something as silly as this? Why would we do like this? First of all, because we are laughing. You know why we laughed? Not because we were looking funny. We laughed because the hormones of happiness were generated. The kinesthetic activity when you do, and when you see a teacher do, it is all the more fun. My children don't judge me. When I was sitting and I walked, all of you looked at me. अच्छा ये लेंगे. 3 घंटे बिठाएंगे. And then I started to work. अच्छा ये बोलेंगे. माइक भी नहीं लिया, मैं तो सोने वाली हूँ. And then you forgot about it. Am I right?
Yes.
But my children don't judge you at all. From the first moment, they want to be your fan. They want to obey you because they want to be in your good books. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
And that is the magic. As early childhood educator, no inhibitions I should have. My body is not judged. My children only look here. Trust me. When I entered, you must have checked. But after last half an hour, you have only noticed this much. Am I right?
Yes.
And that's the power. Once you get their attention, they belong to you. Do you agree?
Yes.
And that's the magic I want to work in the class. And that is motor skills stimulation, right? So our core concern becomes sensory overloaded brain, which cannot process information, which cannot listen very well, which is highly activated. How many of you have done a deal with your children that I will allow you to watch TV for half an hour? Half an hour के बाद बच्चा आया बोला मम्मा रिमोट. Happened? Huh? There was a tug of war. And then you started saying, but you told me that you gave me. After 5 minutes, mommy, important, mommy now, mommy, please, mommy.
Read down the episode.
Huh? Do you agree with me? You know what happened actually? We say attention span is very slow. Psychology, research says that under the age of 6, attention span is 10 to 15 minutes. Agree?
Yes.
Anybody who's not agreeing? Yes, ma'am? No, agree. Put your hands up if you agree so that I know. Agree? Doubtful? What do you say? Good. Have a doubt. I like it. Anybody else who has a doubt? Now the same child that you are having a doubt on. Cartoon कितने minute देखेगा? How many minutes? Hours. If his favorite game is cricket, how many minutes?
They will not leave.
Attention span किधर गया? Psychology is wrong then. No?
Yes.
Wrong, no? कौन बोला wrong? Psychology is not wrong. It's about brain. You need to understand anatomy of brain. When somebody is talking, they are talking and you are seeing. That's all. Only 2 zones are activated. When I am watching TV, the color, the music, the language, the processing, the scenario, the characters, everything comes alive. The zones get activated. Because zones are activated, the interest level goes up. The interest level goes up, the attention is more. Are you understanding now? But it is so much activated that if I do MRI at that time, there will be fire in the brain. It's called synapse. I'm not lying. They're called synapses. You know, the connection of neuron to neuron. Now, how many of you have seen 3 Idiots? In that Raju is in ICU and these people speak. You know, when you're going to your child while watching TV and talking, he hears you like this. Aditya cannot recognize because his brain is sensory overloaded. You will have to calm Aditya down by asking him to wash his face, by asking him to drink water, by asking him to do something with his hands. So the rule I had with my daughter was Monday to Friday no TV, Saturday, Sunday hands busy, TV non-stop. You play with the clay, you do crayon, you do your homework, TV is on. Are you understanding? The brain is not overloaded there. That brain cannot process and that is our killer. Do you agree with me now? Behavioral issues as we mentioned. Self-regulation, socio-emotional adjustment, motor skill sensorial, language acquisition, and the biggest of all, academic gap. I reduce the syllabus only online without much of finesse setting. I have delivered it in a blended model. Children learn most of the time, parents only do work. Or do not send me the homework at all. So we don't know actually where the children are standing. Do we agree with this? Any other point that you would like to add in these? I have covered up all the concern and made them core concern. And we will make sure that we will have a remedy of some of them in certain way. Okay? So desired objective, they should have readiness. What is the meaning of readiness? Ready to understand? Ready to come to school. Very good. Ready to read, ready to write, ready to count. That is readiness. School ready and these things, okay? Life skills, we will have to teach them life skills. Wait for your turn. Talk politely. share, or have your belonging carefully, learn to keep it carefully, respect the material and people around you, all these are life skills. Age appropriate development. Florets has covered that very beautifully in our syllabus. That at what age, what is appropriate for the child, what is a milestone at that age, we have that in our syllabus. And holistic development in the classroom through multiple intelligence and multisensorial. Do we agree? Any doubts so far? May I go ahead? What is multisensorial? As you don't have a doubt, now I will ask.
Using all the senses.
So what are the senses we have?
Senses, sense organs.
Senses are sense organs, very good. Which are they?
Eyes, ears, nose, skin, tongue.
These are sense organs. What are senses?
Sense of sight,
Sight,
sense of vision,
listening,
sense of smell,
smelling,
sense of taste,
tasting,
sense of touch.
touching. These are functions of these organs. What are senses? So please write down in your book, make a table, organs, their function and the sense which you have to stimulate. These are called primary senses. These are called primary senses. The first organ, Nasreen ma'am will help us with the spelling so that we don't write the wrong spellings. Come, Nasreen ma'am. The first primary sense organ is eye. Function is seeing, looking, watching. And the name of the sense is visual sense. Can somebody repeat? Visual sense. The next organ. I hope you have made a table. Okay? Name of the organ, name of the function, and the sense. Ear is the organ. Ear is the organ. Listening, hearing is a function. Listening, hearing is a function. Very good. That's it. And auditory is a sense. Auditory is the sense. Next organ. Nose is the organ. Smelling is the function. Olfactory. Olfactory. When I pass from Karachi Bakery, my olfactory sense gets stimulated. Are we agreed?
Yes.
Are we clear?
Yes.
The next organ is tongue. Tongue.
Tasting.
Function is tasting and it is called gustatory sense. Gustatory sense. Gustatory sense. Fifth organ is skin. Function is to touch, to feel, and the sense is called beautiful. Very good. Oh. The sense is called tactile sense. These are 5 primary multi-senses. Okay? We have an organ for it, it has a function, and this is the name for it. We as early childhood educator have to stimulate more than 11 senses in the classroom. So we learned 5. Can we name them? Visual, auditory, olfactory, gustatory, tactile. Are we clear? So next time there is a lesson plan written and the parent comes, you can say, today we stimulated olfactory, gustatory and tactile sense in the child. Basically you had a cooking activity today. How's that now? This is educational terminology which is O to know. So I'm talking about 12 senses altogether. We covered 5 which are primary senses. We go to secondary senses now. Secondary senses. Secondary senses. Meaning of secondary is primary plus something else. Am I right?
Yes.
Very, very simple. So we are going to have a race now where everyone will have a buddy, partner. So will you take me as a partner or Dimple ma'am as a partner? You have to carry your partner and finish the race. Who will you take as a partner? Yeah, ma'am, fan following है ma'am, आपकी ma'am. Why did you say that, ma'am? I'm all feather, ma'am, all cotton, ma'am, inside, ma'am. This is a sense called baric sense. B-A-R-I-C, baric. Children don't understand it. We have to develop in that. Have you seen a 2-year-old going to mama and saying, "मेरी bag दे," and you say, "बेटा बहुत भारी है." नहीं, नहीं. And then, is it heavy? नहीं, नहीं. They have no idea about baric. Unless they touch, they feel, and they weigh, they compare. They don't understand baric sense. B-A-R-I-C, baric. Are we clear? Sense about weight. She has developed very well. Okay. How many of you had a fight with your husband about dark blue and black? Grey and brown? Don't worry, it is not any problem, it is their pre-primary teacher's problem. They didn't develop chromatic sense. Sense of color, visual and perception. Which color t-shirt Rakesh sir is wearing?
Blue.
Light blue, sky blue. Are you understanding now?
Yes.
Sir, which color you are wearing by the way? What color t-shirt you are wearing? Light blue. Good, yes. Cones are well. Your pre-primary teacher did a good job. Are you understanding? This is secondary. This happens in early childhood. The next sense. Have you seen a child walking and while walking getting table ने मारा मुझे मम्मी and mummy being that table, that table. What happened is no orientation about the space. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Spatial sense. Spatial sense. S-P-A-T-I-A-L. Spatial sense. You teach to the child that if this is a hurdle, how are you going to jump over, walk over, balance on the beam, control of muscle and relaxation of muscle. Only then the toilet training is possible. Are you understanding now? What do you do in toilet training is contracting muscle and at your will relaxing them. So that goes hand in hand. And the fourth sense, 1-year-old child, today you have decided पूरा family ज़मीन पे बैठ के खाना खाएगा. You have kept a hot, dekshi cooker, and a 1-year-old child is crawled and going there. You stop, but after a week, the child is crawling. Child will touch now?
No.
Hul dega आपको, hul. You know what is hul? Because he has developed his thermal sense. Sense of temperature. If you tell in your class, today I ate ice cream, it was so hot. What will children tell you? No ma'am, it was not hot, it was very, very cold. We develop this sense during early childhood years. Are we clear now? So how many senses we covered now? 5 primary and 4 secondary. We have 2 tertiary senses. The reason I am telling you is, you will have to make sure that you are doing this and stimulating if you want attention. If more than 3 or 4 zones are activated, interest level goes up and attention span is better. Are you understanding why I am making you write it? Ma'am, can I take your purse please? Sure. Ma'am, will you close your eyes? Okay. I will put your hand in her purse. Is that allowed, ma'am? Touch anything and tell me what it is. Open your eyes. Show it to everybody. So match fixing Thamma. Actually, I told her that I am going to show her. Do you think that? How did she understand that? Which sense? Tactile? If she has never touched any tablet in life, will she understand it?
No.
So first perception was there, memory was there, and then the tactile. We do a lot of activities activities like that. For example, when you teach shapes or you teach vehicles, you tell children put hand in the bag without saying tell me which is it. And you will know if child has learned properly. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
We can use this as a recap. Pardon? Absolutely right. So this is called stereognostic sense. Stereognostic sense. Rather, Maria Montessori has developed a bag called stereognostic. That without saying, child can touch and tell you what it is. That means he has learnt it so well. Do you agree with me now?
Yes.
The 11th sense, which is the second tertiary sense, is we use it very often. A two tita when we did, we used it. We did it. We activated it. Thumbs up, elbows out, knees bent, bars. What were we doing? Action, movement. It is called it is a tertiary sense, auditory or visually. When I said chiku bulu bulu, you didn't do it because your brain didn't process it. You didn't comprehend. When you comprehended, you gave order to your body to do it. Understand very well? So that is why this tertiary sense. When you want to teach, there is a very famous Chinese saying, you hear, you forget, you see, you remember, you do, you learn. So everything that you teach in the class, if you make them to do something about it, they will learn. Do you agree with me? And that is why I have put it under holistic development. Are we good to go? All 12 senses done? 11. बचा लिया तुमने. The 12th one, you will never use in the class. It's a sense of feeling of pain. Maria Montessori made a letter card with sandpaper. Anybody has used that? Sandpaper letter card?
Yes.
So when you touch the sandpaper, suppose it is letter E. Beautiful feeling. Is that what happens when you touch the sandpaper?
It is hard.
It's hard, it's rough, it's kind of unpleasant. And she said that pain will give a schema that you'll remember the shape of the letter. It's called nociception. But you will not go to the class and say, I will pinch you to check your nociception. I have to stimulate, you will never do that. It's only limited to that. It is about nervous system feeling the pain. Good to go? May I go ahead? If you activate 3 to 4 in your classroom, I am sure the attention span in your class is going to be beautiful. I will explain to you how. Till now, the energy in the room was very high. When I started dictating and you started writing, the energy went down. Because the number of zones in your brain were now limited. But when we were doing Atutita, how was the energy? Are you understanding? Because multiple zones in your brain were activated. With that adrenaline rush, I could have made you do lots of things. Do you agree with me? Very, very clear? Or is biscuits olfactory sense getting stimulated now? And the child gustatory sense is getting stimulated? Is that what is happening? Yes? Good, very good. So now, I have described the problem. How many of you have gone to the doctor in your life? Only, you've never been to doctor. तो हाथ ऊपर करो ना, ऐसे शर्मा क्यों रहे हो? ये क्या है? नहा के आए थे ना सुबह में? क्या है? मस्त है। Everybody, डॉक्टर के पास गया तो हाथ ऊपर करो. नहीं गया. You go to a doctor when you have fever. So go to the doctor. Doctor will check. Doctor will say, oh my God, you have fever. Then I'll pay the doctor and go home. बराबर? No, why? Huh? We will prescribe the medicine. Isn't that right? Isn't that right? That is your job. That is exactly your job. We have described what is the problem so far. Now, if I leave you, चलो मैं अच्छे से बताया ना, सबको समझ आ गया क्या diagnose the problem, but how do we cross over? How we heal? How we walk to the other side of the bridge? We need to establish. Do we agree? Interested in learning?
Yes.
I'll teach only here. I heard yes only here. Are you okay? You want to learn?
Yes.
Are you eating me? Drinking biscuit?
Drinking tea, eating biscuit.
You want to learn?
Yes.
Fantastic. Continue hard. So how do we build that environment? What about the second time? How do we bridge the academic gap? What should be our plan of action? Right? So let's go about it and understand what is the meaning of plan of action. First thing you will do is create a positive environment. मतलब यहाँ पे कितने लोगों का blood group positive है? Only you are allowed as a teacher because positive environment. Is that what I'm saying? What do I mean by positive environment? Sign लगाने का positive का everywhere. Now? Acceptance. Thank you. Clap for him. Sir is ready to take the class, ma'am. Accept children as they are. Very, very, very good point. A chocolate for sir. Super point. चाय के बाद लेना सर, नहीं तो मीठी नहीं रहेगी. हाँ. Acceptance. What is positive environment that I'm talking about? What is the meaning? We'll look into that. Okay, I'll decode that. Activities to increase listening skills and attention span. And what is alteration and extension? Okay. Are we ready to jump in to understand each one properly now? Let's look at positive environment. Have a physical space, your class decor, your TLMs, your furniture, safe and secure environment. Your furniture should not be sharp, well maintained, clean. The ventilation should be good. That is your physical space. Do you agree?
Yes.
Everybody is clear about it? How you are arranging your classroom? Where are you putting what? Is it accessible to child? Is child understanding where to put his shoe, where to put his bag, where to put his water bottle? Have you designed in the classroom which is child friendly? That is physical space. Emotional bond. How many of you have got that emotional bond tied? What is emotional bond? वो हाथ में धागा बांधते हैं? Attachment. Emotional. How do you have that emotional attachment with children?
When they are comfortable with us, they get attached.
How do we make them comfortable?
Love you.
I mean it. Mean it. Genuinely form love. They will understand your concern. I'm not saying tell them I love you. Don't do this to them. There's no need. But convey in your actions that you mean a world to me. Absolutely. You have to come down to their level. Accept them as they are. I want you to write in a capital and bold letters in your book, you. A letter U. A letter P. P. P for parrot. P. U. Very good. E capitals. P and R. Any idea? Only one P jump. U P R. U P R. What does it mean? Anybody who has done psychology a little bit in your DA? Diploma in education? Diploma in early childhood education? Anybody has done diploma in early childhood education? Nasreen ma'am, make sure everybody is doing diploma in early childhood education. Give them card before going. Montessori. Very nice. Understanding? Processing? Good try. I like it. Relate. Give her a chocolate. It's very good try. Anybody else? You can write down under that unconditional, positive regards. Positive regards. Meaning, whoever is in front of me, I do not look at their socio-economic background, their look, their knowledge, their skills. I consider them with utmost respect. I treat them like a fellow human being. That might be this much child or that much adult or might be a beggar on the street. I don't care. They are the fellow human being. Unconditional positive regard. If I have that for everybody around me, my children are going to fall in love with me. Because they notice me more than I notice them. Do you agree?
Yes.
There's a beautiful poem on Google. You can check it out. I'm not going to say it aloud, though it's my favorite. When you thought I wasn't looking, is the title. When you thought I wasn't looking, I saw you feed a stray cat and I understood caring for animal is necessary. And that's a beautiful poem. It's a very long poem. Please read it. So when you don't understand children are looking at you and learning from you, that's the time they're learning from you. So unconditional positive regard is the best way to create bonds. Do you agree with me? You come from whatever, though you're not highly intellectual, you're not physically very beautiful, you're not Nita Ambani, I still love you. You mean a world to me because you are destined in my class. Can we have that? Because I mean it. Fake it till you make it. And you better make it. The moment that will happen, I promise you, end of the year, you will tell Radhika ma'am, maza aa gaya bachon ke saath mein. Can I go with the children to the next class? Your bond with children will be that thick. But don't go. Next batch is waiting for you. Easy communication. 99% people fail with this. We have issues that people don't understand me. I was just talking in the break. Do we understand us? Do you know what you are? Do you know what you want? So your communication has to be 3C. Crisp, clear, and consistent. Crisp, clear, and consistent. Especially when I am dealing with such little ones, I have to be clear. Sarcasm will not help me. You know what is sarcasm? So if child has broke glass vase, in that case, if I go and say, very good, I knew you will do it, child will say, thank you. They don't understand sarcasm, don't use on my children. Be clear, be crisp, and be consistent. Every day, same instruction. There is no change. Are you understanding? In that case, your communication is going to be good. And do you want to know a secret? With adults, how do you talk? Haan beta? No, never. Don't do it. It will bother you. Think before you speak. Think before you speak. What is the spelling of think? Write in your book. Capitals. Capitals. Write it down. जब हम चाय बनाते हैं, do we serve the tea just like that in the cup? What do we do? Filter. So T-H-I-N-K. Is it true? T. True. What you are going to speak just now? Is it true? H. Are you honest about it? Or you have your ulterior motive behind it? H for honest. It can be also helpful. Is it going to add in this situation to become better? Is it going to construct it in a positive way or is it going to destroy it? I. Inspirational. What you want to say is going to impact somebody in a positive manner. To become better human being. To come out of their problem. Hey, is it necessary to speak at all? Most of the time we give our opinion because बाकी सब बोले अभी मैं भी बोलना है. मैं रह गया. मेरे को बोलना पड़ेगा. So is it necessary to speak? And K, any idea?
Kind.
Kind, absolutely right. Is it kind? What you are saying? I have met a lot of people who say, मैं तो straightforward हूँ, मुँह पे बोल देती हूँ. But can you hear मुँह पे? And who are we to judge others? Are you understanding? As a teacher, my job is to show right to wrong. My job is not to judge. I failed my UKG, senior KG. You know why? Because I couldn't speak. And today I am here as a speaker. If my parents and my teachers would have given up on me, would I be here today? Are you understanding very clearly? Every child in your class is precious. They are the buds. Have you seen a bud? Not Budweiser, bud. Follow my bud?
Yes.
If you take that bud and open, will it ever become a flower?
No.
It has to have its own time. Your job is to put effort. Give different approaches. Use different methodologies. Stimulate different zones. Make it kinesthetic to bring them to you. But after that, leave them alone. It's their time. Maria Montessori has said, every child needs to have a pace, has their own pace to develop. We need to give them that space. Are we agreeing? And finally, easy communication is done. All three clear? Is it doable?
And you said necessary to speak, but I said inspiration. But necessary to speak, what will be speaking? It should be like inspiration.
It should add positive into the environment, not gossip. मालूम है कल उसने क्या किया था? That's not necessary to speak. क्या फायदा है वो बोल के? After that discussion of 45 minutes, what we will say, you know that? उसने ये किया, इसने जाने दे, अपने को क्या? तो साला इतना एनर्जी क्यों वेस्ट किया? You know, if you ever meet my mother-in-law, she's a darling, by the way. Don't laugh at her ever. Huh? She's a darling. I'm here today because she's at home. But if you ask her how is Sonal, she will say, बोलती ही नहीं. Because I go home, she has a data. She will say, आज मालूम है क्या हुआ मेरे? ओहो, अच्छा, अरे रे, अरे रे, अरे वाह, very nice, wow. That is what I do. Speak only when it is necessary. When you have an audience of such beautiful people, speak. Why unnecessary to speak? She got the moral of the story. I don't believe in giving the morals. You are thinkers. She will love you if you listen to her. Am I right? In my house, I live on first floor. My sister-in-law lives downstairs. Sabhi beti. But guess who is the favorite? Why? Because he wants. Wow, mama. Oh, mama. अच्छा mama. Okay, mama. मैं क्यों ज्ञान दूँ उनको? She has ज्ञान. Is she going to change now? Who am I to change the world? Can I change myself? Make it simple. Your communication has to be respected. Only then speak. The more you keep quiet, the more valuable you are. Think about it. What do you think about it? Just smile. बोले. एक बार बता. Try it. हम Indian women know we have extra quota. Before anyone, नहीं तू क्या कर बोलूँ तुझे? क्यों बोलूँ? As a child psychologist, I charge 45 minutes के 5,000 rupees. As a counselor, how much? For? Calculate कितना time spend किया तुमने अभी? कितने पैसे वेस्ट कर दिए लाइफ के? Even after that, I don't give advice. I just listen. As a counselor, my job is to rephrase and tell them, not to give advice. Are you understanding? My job as a teacher is to create a path, show a path, not hold them and make them walk on the path. Are we clear? Yes. If you are a teacher who's leading with joy, will children come all? Are you understanding very clearly what I am trying to say? I want you to be that, what is that story of a mouse and a helper? That he plays a flute and everybody follows him. Why? Enchanting. If I am doing this, what are you going to say? 1, 2, 3, go. Am I speaking at all? Why do I speak? I don't need to speak. My babies are more than capable of speaking. More energy to them than me. People ask me, you're so energetic. Actually, मैं spend नहीं करती. I make you spend more energy. Are you understanding what your class, give them opportunity to speak and then see the magic. Okay? So let's understand activities to increase listening skills, attention span. What do we do? What's the meaning of energizer?
Dancing with a song.
Dancing with a song can be energizer. Very good. Meaning of word called energizer.
More active, energetic.
Makes you energized, isn't it? Right. Pacifier. हाँ, वो बच्चा रोता है तो मुंह में क्या डालते हैं? Pacifier. It calms the child down. We had done one, I think, session on energizer pacifier last year. Online we had done it. So some of you might remember. There are lots of activities that we can do as energizers, pacifiers. Okay? And grasp their attention. If you can do these three things, you are the winner. Now first is energizer. Let's do our energizer. Everybody's done with their tea and biscuit. Sugar is gone in. Are we ready? You spend it? Very good. So we are going to do our energizer. Please everybody will like to stand up. Are we ready? Okay. Scrub the kitchen floor. Scrub the kitchen floor. Scrub, 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 scrub the kitchen floor. Scrub the kitchen floor. Scrub the kitchen floor. Scrub, 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 scrub the kitchen floor. Scrub the kitchen floor. Very good. Scrub the kitchen floor. Scrub, 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 scrub the kitchen floor. किसका kitchen floor इतना high है? किधर है kitchen floor? 1, 2, and 2. Scrub the kitchen floor. Scrub the kitchen floor. Slip, slap, slip, slap, scrub the kitchen floor. Everybody, scrub the kitchen floor. Scrub the kitchen floor. Slip, slap, slip, slap, scrub the kitchen floor. Pour a cup of tea. Pour a cup of tea. Splish, splash, splish, splash. Pour a cup of tea. One more time. Pour a cup of tea. Pour a cup of tea. Splish, splash, splish, splash. Pour a cup of tea. Mix the pudding to eat. Mix the pudding to eat. Round, round, round and round. Mix the pudding to eat. Mix the pudding to eat. Mix the pudding to eat. Round, 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 round. Mix the pudding to eat. Eat a piece of cake. Eat a piece of cake. Yum, 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 yum. Eat a piece of cake. Eat a piece of cake. Eat a piece of cake. Yum, 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 yum. Eat a piece of cake. Hammer on the nail. Hammer on the nail. Tap, 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 tap. Hammer on the nail. Hammer on the nail. Hammer on the nail. Tap, 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 tap. Hammer on the nail. All the baby sleep. All the baby sleep. Rock the baby to sleep. I can't see everybody doing. Rock the baby to sleep. Look at everybody's face. Turn to each other. This is exactly what I want my class. This is energizer. अभी मैं अगर बोलूँ, now I'll teach you mathematics, you will say correct. नहीं दो. Am I right? Is your body ready right now to learn anything? It's very, very high on adrenaline. Okay? So please sit down. I want to hear a sound you make when you sit down. Did you do that? Anybody did that? That means you have to do 2-3 times more. Do this sound. That is a phonic sound. about the chores in the house that you should be doing?
Yes.
Are you understanding very clearly?
Yes.
We can do lots of activities like this with children. But with this energy, if I try to teach them, their bodies, suppose you have done boogie boogie. How many of you know boogie boogie? Put your right hand out, put your right hand. After that, if you tell chalo abhi math karenge, they'll be like, they cannot. You need to. So how do we calm them down? Right hand up. Sabka. I believe in team. I don't do anything alone except Susu. Other hand out. Thumbs do talking.
And they have two parts there.
But I'm sure they are not listening together. Thumbs do talking. And the fingers wriggle. What is this? Hindi mein? I'm going to do it once, you will do it twice. Titli Rani, Titli Rani, Titli Rani, Titli Rani, Titli Rani, Titli Rani. मुझको दे दो अपने पर, मुझको दे दो अपने पर, मुझको दे दो अपने पर लगा के उड़ना चाहूँ, पर लगा के उड़ना चाहूँ, पर लगा के उड़ना चाहूँ, अपनी नानी के घर, अपनी नानी के घर, अपनी नानी के घर। भोली तितली प्यारी तितली, भोली तितली प्यारी तितली, भोली तितली प्यारी तितली। मुझको दे दो अपने पर, मुझको दे दो अपने पर, मुझको दे दो अपने पर लगा के उड़ना चाहूँ, पर लगा के उड़ना चाहूँ, अपनी दादी के घर, अपनी दादी के दादी इक्वल रखना अपनी दादी के घर। How are you feeling? Now this is a tune which is a calming tune. Put any words to it. Butterfly, butterfly, can you give me your wings? I will fly with those wings and go to granny's. यही ट्यून में सब कुछ करो, children will pacify. There are lots of activities which are called as pacify. It's fun to teach children how to compose their emotions, control their emotions, right? And finally, GRASP, grasp. Any idea what is the meaning of grasp? What is grasp? Grasp what? Meaning of grasp is what? To acquire. Very good. Superb. I didn't hear it first. Pick up. Write down capital the way I have written. Very good. G for gains. R for rhymes. A for activities. S stories. P perpetuaries. P perpetuary. Paper pen. P puppetry. 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 Puppetries. G for games. Games. R for rhymes and songs. A for activities. S for stories. And P for puppetry. Any concept that you are teaching, if you introduce it in this manner, you will grasp their attention. And once you have their attention, is teaching difficult at all? No. Okay, are we together? Okay. I'm going to grasp your attention. I'm teaching senior KG or junior KG or nursery or tots. The topic I have today is plans. Plans. Is that a topic in each class?
Yes.
Right? My tots, I will not teach the whole song, only the first stanza. And I will increase the stanza as I go up. Is that understood?
Yes.
With me, okay? Sitting. There was a hole.
There was a hole.
The hole was in the valley.
The hole was in the valley.
And the green grass grew around.
And the green grass grew
and the nest and the bird and the insect, whatever you want. Do you agree?
Yes.
What all we achieved? First of all, vocabulary increased. Can I teach colors through this?
Yes.
Can I talk about the grass and the tree, different things?
Yes.
Can I talk about the parts of the germination or parts of the plants?
Yes.
Are you understanding what I am saying? The moment you do such activities, children are engaged, multiple zones in their brains are activated and they are with you. The ones who are doing action with me, they were smiling. The ones who were not doing, they were looking at me. But they were not happy about themselves. I developed as a teacher self-esteem, confidence in the child that I am able to do it. And if I am a teacher who every 20 minutes make them get up and do and the green grass grew around, rest of the period, child का क्या हाल होगा? क्या हाल होगा? बोलो. Are you understanding? The reason why my children are hyperactive, the reason why they are jumping around is because the amount of calorie that is in is not spent. Yes, there are some children who genuinely have a problem, but there are very few. Most of them, now it's a fashion in parents. My child is so hyperactive. तू नहीं था बचपन में? Ask your mommy, you're jumping from sofa to sofa and you've broken so many things. We all know like that. Yes, there are few who have a problem over here, but most of the time we are not tiring them. आओ बैठो पढ़ाई करो, आओ बैठो खाना खाओ, आओ बैठो टीवी देखो, आओ बैठो गेम खेलो, आओ बैठो. That's not what my body is meant for. My body is meant for jumping. My body is meant for running. Allow me to run. Do these kind of activities and see, I promise you, their attention span will increase, their learning capability will increase. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So this is about thoughts. I have shared the file. If necessary, ma'am will share with you. Don't try to copy it. What I am trying to say is our attention as teachers of thought should be on their speech, on their motor skills and sensorial skills. Do we agree?
Yes.
Have I given you enough to deal with that? Academically, how do we help them? When they are going to come to me, can I teach them A to Z now in June? I'm just going to work with their fine motor, gross motor. I'm going to make sure that they learn how to listen in this foreign language. How difficult is that? How many of you are Telugu here? So, ma'am, do you have a child at home? Anybody else who has a child at home? Okay. So, ma'am, how old is your child? Okay, so at 1.5 when child started talking, which language? Telugu. Did you keep a tuition? कहीं स्कूल में भेजा? How did your child fit? How do you think this child learned? Huh? Listening. And child picked up. It is easy for you to learn any language. Do you agree, or it's very difficult to learn language? Difficult? Okay, I'm going to tell you a small story. Ready for the story?
Yes.
I can ask you, you don't ask children. Because you will have children saying, no man! Then forget. So say, I'm going to tell you a story in your class. I have adults in my class, I can afford it. Because you all are such a pretty ones, you will say, yes ma'am. मैं जो भी बोलूँगी, am I pretty?
Yes.
Am I nice?
Yes.
I will get that answer, but my child will say reality. Ma'am, today your dress is not nice, ma'am. Okay, so be careful what you are asking them. Never ever say, do you want to listen to story? You will get too chuppu puppu who will say, no, I don't want to listen. Okay, so here is a 6-year-old little girl called she. Now the she got itchy knee. Everybody. Itchy. You know what is itchy? Yes. Everybody with me. नहीं आ रहा है तो भी खुजाओ. Itchy knee. I can't say everybody खुजाओ. Itchy knee. Rakesh sir also please try this. आप करते हो तो आपके शहर में सब करते हैं. Itchy medicine and told her, go. What did she say? Go. Loud, right? Go. And then suddenly doctor said, हिंदी में थोड़ा गंदा हिंदी, रोकू 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 Within first PTM. July, August में first PTM ना? आज pay so much fees, madam. No English. Are you understanding? At that time you should do. बच्चा घर पे मम्मी पापा खुश ये जो भी बोला बहुत अच्छा होगा इंग्लिश में का Are you getting my point? Yes. Unfortunately the standards are wrong. Unfortunately they want to see speaking. They don't understand that child is comprehending so well. He is following instruction. According to me that is what child should be able to do. But then parents have their own parameter. बाजू वाले का बच्चा इतना कर लिया, आपकी स्कूल में क्यों नहीं कराते हो मैम? You will get all this. Am I right? Yes. So we will make sure that through our activities we are making child a speaker. Yes. So skill based, we have to develop their observational skills, self-efficacy. Like in 12th standard, they shouldn't say, I don't know how to tie my shoelace. It shouldn't be a lacing board. It should be their own shoes. It shouldn't be a buttoning board. It should be their own shirt. They should be able to dress on their own. By age of 3, child is independent. Eric Erikson, very famous psychologist, says that this is a stage where child wants to initiate autonomy. And that is why at age of 2, you see tantrums. Because child thinks, I am the superpower of this earth. Around me everything should work. And when that doesn't happen, he throws a tantrum. Really? It didn't happen? Because till then you are suddenly now you are showing the rules. So ego issue होता है बच्चे को. Are you understanding very clearly what I am saying? So we need to make sure they are doing on their own, work on their socio-emotional and motor skill. We move on to extension for nursery orally. That's written very clearly and we are going to maintain that. We don't expect children to write. Their fingers are yet not developed enough. Their muscles are not toned. They are not toilet trained, remember? They are not ready yet. Strokes. Recap, what is strokes? Why do we need strokes? They can write the letters. Any other reason why we need strokes? Fine motor skill. Very good. Anything else? How many of you have given a pen and a diary to your 1-year-old? They will put dot, dot, dot on every page. And you give it energy? It is. After 6 months you give, they will put line, 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 line on every page. It is developmental that strokes are developed. First is the dot, then a standing, then a sleeping. It is how child scribbles to begin with. And that is how he is capable. So let me tell you a story and I'll give you a break from this and let's listen to a story. The story is about a 4-year-old little boy who just began to write. And this 4-year-old went to mommy. Who wants to be my mommy? Okay. So mommy, I want a pen. Promptly answer. No. That is the answer every mommy will give. No. So but baby went to the papa. Papa said, ya to mommy, ya to pet. I have to keep mommy. So no. So child decided, I will write a letter. Now there are lots of animals that child has seen. Zoo. That's so right. You said it. Perfect. Chocolate for ma'am. So the child wrote a letter. Dear Zoo. I wrote a letter to the zoo. To who? To send me a pet. Send me a pet. What do you think I got? You want to see what did I get? Tiger. Oh, I got a big box. Very big box. And when I turned the box like this, something moved inside. I wanted to open the box, but it wouldn't open. See some magic words, maybe it will open. Please. It's little only opening.
Thank you.
Not opening. I think the magic words are.
Yes.
He was too big. So I sent him Dear Zoo. I wrote a letter to the zoo. To who? Zoo. To send me a pet. And what did you get this time? Let's see, what did we get? What did we get? What did we get? From left to right and left to right and left to right and left to right. It's not opening. Everybody together. Magic words. They sent me a giraffe. And did you keep him? He was so I sent him Dear Zoo. I wrote to the zoo. To who? What do you think came now? Let's see what came. What came? What came? What came? What do you think came now? Zebra? They sent me a what? And did you keep him? He was I sent him Dear Zoo. I wrote to the zoo. To who? What do you think, isn't it? They sent me a what? Did you keep him? No. Everybody. Grumpy. Grumpy. Everybody go grumpy. I don't like it. Today food came so late. I don't like it. Today Sonal mom is not finished. I don't like it. Do you like grumpy people? No. I sent him Dear Zoo. I wrote to the zoo. To who? To zoo. To send me a pet. And what did you get? I love you. They sent me a snake. And did you keep him? No. Too scary. I sent him Dear Zoo. I wrote to the zoo. The small little fox came. I love Only these two. 1, 2, 3, go! They sent me a what? And did you keep him? No. I sent him back. He was too jumpy. He kept hopping and I couldn't catch him to do a little Tommy. So I sent him back. Dear Zoo. I wrote a letter to the zoo. To who? To zoo. To send me a pet. Very hard this time. And they साथ में नहीं बोलेंगे तो खुलता ही नहीं है. They sent me story, one by one. Hands up, hands up, hands up. Thank you. One by one, one by one. Strokes. How did you do strokes? Right, right. Next. Patterns. Animals. Yes, ma'am. Expressions. Emotions.
Colors.
Words. Vocabulary. Adjectives. Did you do article? Or from? Elephant. Unknowingly we are teaching children by sight. By hearing they are learning the correct English. And that is how I wanted to build everything. Starting from the stroke, I went to the construction of the sentence with the same teaching aid, with the same activity. I want you to think like this and make your classroom so engaging that your children are going to have a lot of fun. Are we good to go? Recap of number 1 to 10. For shapes, we can create beautiful stories about shape kingdom. Can I have shape kingdom? So shape kingdom, we have a beautiful story that we have created, that once upon a time there was a whole kingdom. And in that kingdom there was lane. A lane of circle, a lane of triangle, a lane of square, a lane of rectangle. They would play with themselves, they would enjoy. But eventually they became very sad. Because everybody looked same, just the same. So they went to the king of the shape kingdom and said, what do we do now? We are so sad. And we made a puppet like this. Is it difficult to make things like this? Very difficult, no? Not at all. And then what did the king say? All of you come together and see the magic that will happen. All of you will create a king itself. That's a clown having all the shapes. And the shapes were very, very happy. Are you understanding? Now this can be made into a bigger size, smaller size, different colors. At a time only one shape to be introduced. And child is actually feeling it. The charts that you put up for a class decor, the behind side is blank. Can you make out of that? And there is just a roll here. You can put white paper with a black, but googly eye is fun. It's really animation. Are you able to imagine your classroom now? If you have a puppet which child can play with and you are not worried, for example, I made the puppet, I am giving it to a child, but before I give I say, संभाल के बहुत फाड़ना नहीं, ये संभाल के रखना, ये I want it back. If I am going to do, child will take it from me? No. It should be made in a way that every child should be having access to it. Is it difficult? If you teach shapes in this manner, will child ever forget? Are we understanding very clearly? Yes. Numbers, we can make flashcards, we can do subitizing. I will show you of subitizing, what is subitizing flashcards. I will show you for higher grades, not now. Recap of world around and opportunities to perform. You know, when I was opening the box, you were very nice to me. But my children demand, ma'am, monkey, ma'am, dinosaur, ma'am, unicorn, ma'am, penguin, ma'am. I will know what is their previous knowledge. I will understand what is their vocab. Next class I can work upon it. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Very, very clear? Make sure that every activity that you are doing has multiple facets into it. And it is doable, right? So junior KG, socio-emotional skill. Last 2 years I was at home, I was a king. I had a mobile, I had a PlayStation, I had Xbox, I had Minecraft, I had what is the box? All that I had at my disposal. I did nothing but I watched cartoon. So I am supposed to be the king, you have to obey me. Do you agree? Yes. So I need to work on their socio-emotional skill. That you are one among the all. I have to break that bubble, and it's very painful bubble. But you'll have to do it, right? So how do you do that kind of thing? Making them understand their manners, making them understand how to behave. Can you say, ऐसे नहीं करना, don't do like that, don't wipe it with finger, use your, can you do all that? Do they listen? मेरी बिल्ली काली पीली, everybody. बारिश में वो हो गई गीली,
बारिश में वो हो गई गीली, नीली नीली काली पीली, बारिश में वो हो गई गीली,
गीली होके लगी कांपने,
गीली होके लगी कांपने,
आछ आछ लगी छींकने,
आछ आछ लगी चीखने,
बिल्ली रानी कुछ तो सीख,
बिल्ली रानी कुछ तो सीख,
बिना रुमाल के कभी न छींक,
बिना रुमाल के कभी न छींक, बिना रुमाल के कभी न छींक,
आछी। Now if you are singing, child will go, Mummy, you can't go ache. You give me handy, I will go ache. Are you understanding? That is the power of being pre-primary teacher. जितना माँ बाप से करवाना है, tell in the class. Children will obey. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
And it is doable. Let's move academic. They have already done the strokes. They have actually recognized the letters, word association, picture association is done with them. Now they need to recap it so that they are ready to do the task extension of the coming year. Names of the letter and number, re-establish, talk to them what happened in last 2 years, have couple of sessions where everybody can contribute 2-3 lines about it. It's absolutely fine. Rather, IIPTA Florets have planned it so beautifully that you are not beginning in June itself padhai. You are doing this repair work, bridging that gap work. Only the activities and the recaps are happening to build up the fresh knowledge. Do we agree?
Yes.
So skill based, we have to work on the listening skill. Now what is this listening skills? Listening skills क्या होगा?
Make them listen.
Make them listen. So, chalo everybody listen to me. Madam, listen to me. Chalo, right. Listen to me. Will you do that? Will it happen? They will talk more. You know, 2 children are talking and you separate them, no? Every 2 minutes they will look at each other. We have also done it.
Yes.
Don't do it. Instead of that, get their attention. If they are talking, suppose I am teaching about birds and both of you talk. Actually talk. So once, there were lots of birds. See, they are focusing on me. I'm so there were some birds that flew and some birds that did fly. You know that? That is one way. The normal way is talk again. There were lots of birds. Some birds, what are you doing now in my class? How many times I have to tell you not to talk? The birds flew away. वो 25 बच्चे जो सुन रहे थे, हाँ मैम, she always talks मैम. Ma'am, yesterday also she was talking ma'am. Are you understanding what you did? Instead of looking at the positive reinforcement of the class, that there are 20 children listening, do not listening while walking through this. Are you understanding? It's up to you. How do you manage them? Instead of telling them you are not doing it, tell this one is doing it. Don't compare. जरूरत ही नहीं है. मेरा बच्चा होमवर्क करके लाया, वो बाजू वाले जो नहीं कहेंगे मैं कल लेके आएगा मैडम. Are you understanding now?
Yes. Yes.
Instead of saying why you didn't do homework, what is wrong? Are you clear about it? Positive reinforcement, creating a bond. Talking about socio-emotional skill and opportunity to communicate. If you do activities like this, who was talking more, me or you? Dear Zoo. I wrote a letter. Am I talking? You are talking.
Yes.
Give them more opportunities. Condition them. They like it. Make little mistakes. There's a very famous story that I tell about Dala Tarbadi. It is written by Gijubhai Badeka. He's supposed to be a Montessori of India. You know, he's known as mother with mustache. Okay. So this gentleman has written beautiful stories for children. This is my favorite story. If people knows it was in first standard. Okay, Dala Tarbadi.
Very famous.
Very famous. Yes. So this Dala Tarbadi is a guy who is a miser. Meaning? Confusion. पैसा नहीं खर्च है. तो उसका वाइफ वुड should every day cook only tomato and the potatoes and the onion. But she loved brinjals. So one day she says, go get, and this is great, it is so expensive. The story goes on. The point is, every time I mention in the story brinjal, I say, the brinjals were hanging. Shiny, orange brinjals were there. And the child will stop. And now child will wait. This story is 25 minutes long. But they listen, you know why? Abhi ma'am bolenge color. And galat bolenge. And I will say, are you understanding what happened? But don't do about everything. Otherwise they'll say, my teacher ko kuch nahi hai. Make sure when you are doing what, right? Academically, recap of A to Z, recap of 1 to 20, world around, recap of shape and color. Do lot of tertiary skills, kinesthetic and gymnastic with these children. That to understand whether they have learned the concept of, and then it will be a joy to see where we stand as a teacher. Finally, senior KG, after 2 years they came in maybe nursery or tots and they are coming again. There is a huge gap. They have become a social media star because उनकी painting को 50 like मिले हैं, उनकी reels को 200 hearts मिले हैं, and they are most liked वाला वो आता है ना Insta पे. They are received, so they think they are the owner of the world. So they will walk into the class and that is how they talk to you. And you will have to make them understand you are my baby and you are just one of them. Difficult task, but doable. Agree now? The moment we started the session till now, are you feeling a little more confident?
Yes.
Academically, they have to practice A to Z, they have to practice their numbers and, naming things, concept of shape, color and awareness. In skill, we have to check their comprehension. What is the meaning of comprehension? That is a normal comprehension about comprehension. That is not comprehension. Comprehension is, for an example, which song is this? 1, 2, 3, go everybody. ऐसी टीचर मिलेगी तो यही हाल होगा बच्चों. This is comprehension. Did I teach you what is up or down? But if I make a mistake, you will make a mistake. Did I teach you beta ye up hai? Did I ever teach? But you did roly-poly up, and you tell a child, look up, where they'll see. But if I was a teacher, where they'll see? Down. Comprehension comes from teacher. What do you mean? When children are making noise and you are saying, quiet everybody! That means clean. Are you understanding? Comprehension means perceiving, understanding. When I want children to be quiet, I will wait. क्या होगा अभी? लकीली 1-2 स्मार्ट होंगे ऐसे जो बोलेंगे नैन देखते हैं.
Waiting to be quiet.
Absolutely right. Absolutely. Have a pause. This means I am waiting for you. I can have a green and the red cards. Green means too much noise. Red means too much noise. Green means you are wonderful. And I can go slow. I can, when I go out of the class, I tell them, nobody should. If I try now, what will happen? Will it happen? Instead of that, tell your children, teach them whispering. Let's try. Make a pair and whisper. Actually, try whispering. Let me see if you know the meaning of whispering. Little less. Teach them this. The reason I want children to be quiet is because बाजू वाले class को disturb होगा. But if I am whispering with him, will you have a problem? Are you understanding? Doable tasks. Teach them and make a essential rule which is followable, not breakable. Right? So recap of 1 to 50 in senior KG, because in junior KG they have already finished earlier, A to Z. Now they are going to build the letters, do a lot of activities like wobble, have letter cubes, number cubes, joy that you can have in the classroom. Leave them alone with this. Let them make nonsense words, nonsense letter. Let them sing with it. For an example, how do you teach A to Z names? Every letter has 3 dimensions. The name of the letter, the sound of the letter, and the shape of the letter. So how do you teach the names of the letter? Which song do you sing? Everybody. Instead of that, I want everybody to stand and do with me. कितना अच्छा लग रहा है ना? A sits on the wall. A sits on the wall.
A sits on the wall.
1, 2, 3, go.
A sits on the wall.
And B stands tall.
And B stands tall.
C sits on the wall.
C sits on the wall.
And D stands tall.
And D stands tall.
Together, 1, 2, 3, go.
E sits on the wall. And F stands tall.
G bangs its bottom down, down, down.
G bends its bottom down, down, down.
Like it? I call it alphabet gym. Why am I calling alphabet gym? Please be seated. Why do we call it alphabet gym? You made it kinesthetic. Anything else? Physical, kinesthetic, very good. You smiling by doing?
Dancing.
Father there. So the reason I teach this in toss is because in nursery and LKG, I'm going to ask them to write A sits on the wall and B stands tall.
C sits on the wall. And stands tall. E sits on the wall. And F stands tall. G
Bangs its bottom down, down, down. H I
sits on the wall.
Are you getting it? I just sing it. When they start writing, they realize, ma'am, it is standing tall, ma'am. Ma'am, it is touching the bottom, ma'am. Now that is self-realization. That is self-efficacy. And children love to come to you saying, मैंने किया. I did it. Like every day, I don't cook. But if somebody likes the food, I come and say, I made it. We all like it, right? I can't hear you back.
I want you to sing the entire.
To Z? They will cry, ma'am. I have got to finish. I want you to finish A to Z. A to G, I gave you the words. There are 3 phrases. A sits on the wall. B stands tall. G bangs its bottom down, down, down. So in a print form, how it is placed, that is how you will use these phrases. Is that fine? Like G. G bangs, B-A-N-G-S, bangs its bottom down, down, down. Okay? So implementation, Iris has created beautiful, holistic approach and given you lots of, including 21st century skills. Any problem? All well? G bangs its bottom down, down, down. A sits on the wall. B stands tall. G bangs its bottom down, down, down. Okay? Right. So Iris has given us all the necessary support system to develop 21st century skill, to make a child global citizen, introduce him to AI's life skills and different things. How are we going to use that in a class? Let's recap. VARK approach. What is VARK approach? I'm sure you know it. It's just put it in a different manner maybe. It is a different methodology or an approach that you have in a class because you have different types of learners. You have a visual learner, you have auditory learner, you have a reading, writing learner, and you learner. Do you agree? Yes. Right? MI. What is MI? Kinesthetic activity, and now we know what is holistic development also. So dose of love, dopamine hormone, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphin. I'm not teaching you medical here, but when you do kinesthetic activities, when you listen to the story and repeat, then you can say, which animal is this? Dog. Some of the hormones are getting released and you feel good. I could say it. I did it. Are you understanding?
Yes.
So your dose of love, how much is it going every day into the class is what you should check. How much are you making children say, children do, instead of how much you are doing. Are we good? Our curriculum is built child friendly, where we are giving a lot of opportunity to child to perform. Do you agree?
Yes.
Very good. So get happy yourself. Effort. Put effort. Don't expect the perfection. Form happiness habits. These are the happiness habits. We don't have to get into it. We have already covered each one of them. And I might share the PPT so you will have it. Right? Teach self-discipline. Give more play time. Let them play and learn. Let them do activities and learn, and they'll be very, very happy. Grasp their attention, connecting with them, understanding them, encouraging them. When I gave chocolates to you, how did you feel? When I sent up to you, how did you feel? Different types of awards you can come up with. And children, and make sure that by end of week everybody is getting it. Stand there at the end of the day. All the good children who said I love you, Sonal ma'am will get it. Let me listen. Right. Clarity in instruction and improving communication. So this is a plan that I had, but the time is pressing. Maybe next time we'll do it. Or do you mind staying back for 5 minutes?
Yes.
Right. So fire on the mountain, it's a little difficult to do it here, but we can sit and imagine. So you're going to run sitting. Are we okay? The song is Fire on the mountain, run, run, run. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Fire on the mountain, run, run, run.
Fire on the mountain, run, run, run.
Fire on the mountain, fire on the mountain, fire on the mountain. Fire on the mountain! Fire on the mountain! Fire on the mountain! I want 3 right hands together. 3 right hands together. Together. 3 right hands together. करो कैसे करोगे? 3 right hands. Go wherever you have to go, ma'am. 2 ही होंगे, ma'am. 3 right hands. Ma'am, 3 right hands. Very good. Very good. Yes. चोरी हो रहा है partners. Come. Where तेरा partner है? Fire on the mountain. Fresh, fresh. Fire on the mountain. Fire on the mountain. Fire on the mountain. अभी अगर मैं चेयर हटवाऊंगी कराऊंगी तो we are wasting time. It is doable. Are you getting me? What all did I teach through this game? Body parts. Counting, very good.
Group left,
Making group, survival skill. ये हमारे 3 हो गए तो जा. Survival skill, team. Competitiveness. Thank you so much. You were listening. Did I tell you when I do fast, you do fast?
Yeah.
I didn't tell you. I didn't tell you. You did it on your own. Yes. And that is the listening skill development. Isn't that important?
Yes.
How well you were when I was. You were looking at me all of it.
Yes.
And that's what I want in my class. The softer I speak, the better they listen. Do you agree? The louder I speak, it becomes terrible. You want to get out of the class now. So don't do that. Keep it very calm. Are you understanding? Slippery fish with me. 1, 2, 3, go. Slippery fish. Slippery fish.
slippery fish, slippery fish,
Swimming in the water.
swimming in the water,
Swim.
swimming in the water,
Gulp, gulp, gulp. Oh no!
oh no,
Oh no!
oh no,
It's been eaten by.
it's been eaten by,
It's been eaten by.
it's been eaten by,
Octopus.
octopus, octopus, octopus,
Swiggling in the water.
swiggling in the water, swiggling in the water, glug, glug, glug,
Gulp, gulp.
glug.
Oh no!
It's been eaten by,
It's been eaten by. Tuna fish.
tuna fish, tuna fish, tuna fish,
Splashing in the water.
splashing in the water, splashing in the water, glug, 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 glug. Oh no, it's been eaten by, it's been eaten by,
Great white shark.
great white shark,
Everybody.
great white shark, great white shark,
Lurking in the water.
lurking in the water, lurking in the water, gulp, 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 gulp. Oh no, it's been eaten by, it's been eaten by,
Humongous whale.
humongous whale,
Humongous whale.
humongous whale,
Floating in the water.
floating in the water, floating in the water.
What all can you teach through this?
Water animals.
What animals? Small to big? Ascending, descending? Expressions?
New vocabulary like splash.
Very good. Different movements in the water. Also the mannerisms. That if you bark, what do you say? Are you understanding? So many concepts you can cover through the sorting activity. Actually, we have prepared A to Z cups for you with items and we wanted to give. We won't do it, but we'll show it to you. Then we show them a couple of it. So, we were planning to give you in a group, mix all the items of certain letters and you had to segregate them. And that takes lots of activities, matching, sorting, classifying. So for example, these are the objects. What do you think this goes in?
Basket.
What do you think this one must be? Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? So you can create A to Z every cup and its lead, it is having capital, it is having small, it has a card, it has a concrete object and the lid also has its own identification. We call it magic cups. Difficult to make? But Char will play non-stop with it. Keep at least 6 to 8 items in it which begins with letter A. Shake it and say, today let's see what is coming out, and take out one item and let them talk about it. Doable? Easy? Can we give, after they have learned 3 letter, mix all the objects and give it to them to sort? You will understand whether they have learned or not. Are we good with it? Yes. Right? I promise you I'll show you the math card, how you should make. This is ideally how you make your cards with math. What number is this? 9. Now, this is called dominoes, fingers, 10 grid, cubes, telemark. These are dice and this is your concrete object. Are we understanding? So at a time, child is watching it like that and learning. We are not asking them to count, we are just asking them to see right now. What we are developing in them is called symmetry for the shapes, for the numbers, observation skill. Next time, you are going to give that card to a child and ask, this is also number card. We can give example cards also. Exam cards where one is written but 2 fingers are up. And they have to put a pegboard wherever there is one. Are you able to understand? And we will check whether they have learned the numbers or not. So lots of activities can be done. Any chart you have, cut it, make a roll, make emotions on that. And that is your roll finger puppet. Is it doable? Yes. And then you put your fingers like this, everybody. Here is Chunnu's house and here is Munnu's house. Chunnu lives here and Munnu lives here. They are the best friends. So Chunnu comes out one day and Munnu comes out one day and start a story. Now we want to teach fruits. Chunnu said to Munnu, I ate something which was big and green and inside it was very red, but I forgot its name. Thank you, you're so nice. Oh, but I ate something that was yellow. I had to peel it and it smelled very sweet and it was white inside. But my mama gave me only one. It was banana. It's a banana it was. Are you understanding? Or I can teach about the transport going. Chunnu wanted to go to Munnu's house. He took a cycle. How did cycle go? Tring. And then the bus. Wheels of the bus, and then he had to take a water transport. And then Shahrukh uncle wanted to do a shooting uphill, so he took a lift and he went into the helicopter. Are you understanding? Incorporate things in your stories, in your activities with roll figure. I'm skipping the story here, and now will we be able to bridge the gap?
Yes.
Will we be able to have a joyful learning environment where teacher is happy and her children are also happy? Thank you so much. You guys were fantastic. Kudos to you all. You were fantastic. Thank you. I thank Radhika ma'am. I thank Rakesh. I thank sir who was most serious and very focused in life. A chocolate for him also. Thank you so much. Thank you. And you all were fantastic. Thank you so much for being part of my life. I love you all.
Thank you so much, and a standing ovation I think she deserves today for her energy that she has Thank you so much, Sonal. It was amazing, and a big hug from all of them.
Yay! I love hugology only.
I think we all are now quite confident to deal with all uncomfortable issues now that we are going to face, and we are now ready with it. Thank you so much for the energetic, fun and informative session. Thanks a lot.
So when I come, I say hello, how are you? When I go, I say bye. What do you tell your children in the class? Any other phrase? See you later, alligator. Everybody. See you later, alligator. For a while, crocodile. Give a hug, ladybug. Blow a kiss, jellyfish. Bye-bye everyone. May God bless you and may the year be rocking. I once again thank management. This is second home to me. I love coming to Floret, and you all are going to do a fabulous job. Live your life to fullest. Be happy. Make my babies happy. See you later.